it's Cheyenne. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be doing my July wrap-up or recent reads. The first book that I read in July was The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. It's about a girl who really wants to go to a military academy or something along those lines, and she ends up entering into a war. That's the simplest way that I can put it, but I'm pretty sure a lot of you have heard about the Poppy War, and it was one of the best books that I've read this year, even though I haven't read that many books. It just really encaptured my mind. Like, I literally thought about this while I was at work on the way home, like, oh my gosh, I wish I brought it with me. I wish I could read it right now. Wish I didn't have to go to work. I just want to read this book. Like, just the characters in the story, Neza, just like everything that happened throughout the story, all the drama, all the bullying. There's a lot of trigger warnings with this book, but it was just like a really, really heavy book and a really deep book, and it really resonated with me. I believe the story focuses on things that actually happened in China, like during the war there, and I don't know, and I didn't even know that until I got to the end of the book, and I don't remember, but it says about the book, or a note from the author or something like that. Yeah, a note from the author. I read all of this because I love the book, and I don't even normally do that. I had purchased it from Amazon, and I was just so excited to get this and finally read it and dive into it. And I'm so excited to finish the Dragon Republic, and I plan to finish that this year. Obviously this year, but I plan to finish it before The Burning God comes out. So I'll probably be reading it this month along with the whole list of other books, and I'll make a whole video on that. But The Poppy War just really made me think. Like, really, really think. Like, there were so many characters, there was so many different storylines that were going on, and Ren really was the baddest. Like, literally, she's the badass. Like, she really killed it. I wasn't expecting what she pledged. I wasn't expecting what she was able to accomplish, because she held herself to such a low esteem, because that's what everyone around her held her to. And then she still pursued, and she still worked hard. And I don't know, like, there was just something about her character that I really loved, and I really can't wait to read more about her life and about what she's going through. And I just wish, I don't know, like, just reading about Alton and everything that he is and everything that he was, it was amazing. I'd really recommend this book. You guys should really check it out. I don't know if my description of it does it any justice, but I just have to say that I love Ren. I love almost every single character, and I'm just so excited to finish the Dragon Republic. I started the first couple chapters, but I don't know, it's starting off kind of slow. So we'll see how much I love it, and I'll let you guys definitely know. The next book this month that I read was The Vanishing, and I didn't finish it until last week, by Britt Bennett. It's about twin sisters who grew up in a town named Mallard. The town is full of like black people, but they're of lighter complexion, and one of them decides to become white passing, and the other one lives her life as a black woman, and they end up running away to New Orleans, or I think so. They end up running away from their home, Mallard, and one decides to leave the other, and it's just their story, their family story. It's about anti-racism, and I really, really loved it. I read this for the Black Hotties book of the book club for last month, for July, and I really, really loved it. The live show was last night, and it was so beautiful to see everyone talking about how much they love the book and how much they love being black and how they wouldn't change that for anything. And it was just such a beautiful live stream, and I'm so glad I read this book. I'm so glad I got to know Jude. Jude was my favorite character. Stella was my least favorite character, but I know her part was needed in the book. You know, like, she carried the book on her back, literally. Like, she was the bulk of the story. Like, I just wanted to know why she left. I just wanted to know why she wanted to live her life as a white passing woman. And it just, like, reading from Jude's perspective really put some things into perspective in my life. I was like, wow. Like, she really, like, pursued Kennedy Scylla's daughter and pursued her and was like, this is your family, like this is where you're from, like this is your grandma, this is your aunt. And you know, things ended how they ended, but I really enjoyed the story, and I would really recommend this. And I love reading books by Black authors. I just love giving my support to them. So yeah, this is a good book. The next books that I read was for the reading rush, and I won't be participating in that any longer, but I ended up reading The City of Brass. I'll put a picture right here, and it was just such an awesome book. Like, I'm still thinking about it, and I love every single character besides Ali and obviously Gaston and, you know, all the villains of the book. But just falling in love with the different world, diving and immersing myself into a different world with magic. And I've never really read a fantasy like this because I'm new to reading fantasy. And if you guys have any recommendations, drop it down below. But I really talked about this book in my Reading Rush vlogs, and you can hear more about that. But I was excited for the romance in the book. I was so excited for the action. The last part of the book really blew me away. I'm so excited to finish The Kingdom of Copper, which I've started that, but I put that on pause because I want to finish Behind the Flame, and once I finish that, then I'll read that. But there's just so many books that I'm reading this month. Like, I joined so many book clubs. Like, I've joined 3 book clubs, so this month I'll be reading the 5th season, The Rage of Dragons, and Such a Fun Age, plus books that, you know, that I want to read outside of book clubs too. And I'll be doing maybe a TBR, books that I want to read, but you never know, I might change my mind like I did with the Reading Rush TBR, so who knows. But those are the 3 top books that I really want to read. Oh, I don't know if I said the 5th season, but yeah, I'm going to be reading that too by N.K. Jemisin. But for The City of Brass, my final thoughts was it was a 5 out of 5. All these books that are, The Vanishing was a 4, Poppy War was 5 out of 5, and The City of Brass was definitely 5 out of 5. I just never read a book like it. I never connected so deeply with Nari, and I love Dara. Like, he's one of my fictional crushes for sure. And there's nothing really left for me to say, but besides the fact that I just loved the story, I love the action and everything like that. I don't want to give too much of the book away, but it was such an awesome read, and I'm definitely excited to finish The Kingdom of Copper and start The Empire of Gold because I have the books with me. But anyways, the next book that I had read was Get a Life, Chloe Brown. I put it right here, and I loved the book. I really loved the romance, and I was so excited to see Redford and Chloe like get together and, you know, fall in love. And I was excited, and it was kind of like a slow burn at times. I was like, when are they gonna kiss? When is this gonna happen? When are they gonna see each other again? Oh my gosh. And I was like rushing through the parts with her sisters and her family, and I'm just like, I just want to see them together. And like, I know the second book is about Danny Brown, but like, I guess I didn't really appreciate her character as much as I should have because I was too busy focusing on Chloe and Redford. But I'm excited to read that book, and I'm excited to know more. I hope Chloe and Redford find their way into that book, or at least play a small role. Maybe we'll hear from them, but just the way that the story was told, it started off kind of slow for me, and I DNF'd it at first when I tried to read it earlier in July. And then a lot of people were saying, read Get a Life, Chloe Brown. I kept getting recommended it, and I was like, okay, let me read it. And I'm so happy that I did because there were just so many important topics that the book touched, such as like the mental health thing, like I talked about in my Reading Rush vlog, and just the struggle of dealing with, you know, like a chronic illness. I think that's what it is. And it was just such a beautiful book, and I'd really recommend it to people who love romance and to people who, it was kind of like a journey within itself, like Chloe's journey, and I just loved it. The next book that I had read was The Tea Dragon Society, and it was just the cutest little story, and it was just like a little graphic novel or comic. And I know the 3rd book of the series comes out this year, I believe, or next year, and I'm excited to read that. But I have started reading the Tea Dragon Festival, and it's so cute, and it just brings a smile to my face, and I love it. And the 2nd book has like sign language in it, like the characters are doing sign language, and I thought that was really inclusive, and I thought that was so cool. Anyways, the next book that I read was The Truth About Keeping Secrets by Savannah Brown. And this was just like a rocky read for me. Like, I wanted to DNF it, and I did a buddy read with someone on Twitter. I did a buddy read, and I don't want to butcher her name, but maybe I'll put her on the video. And it was just such a beautiful book to read. Like, it was super depressing, but like I really grew to appreciate the book at the end. It was just so crazy, and like I kind of guessed who it would be, but at the same time I wasn't sure. It was just like a mystery for me. Anyways, the book was a mystery, and it's about this girl who lost her father, and she believes someone killed him, and it's just her book of being harassed, her story of being harassed by people. She was being harassed through text message, and she was just trying to figure out who was harassing her. Well, she was also trying to figure out how to grieve her father, how to continue living her life, and essentially how to fall in love again, and who to fall in love with. And she just went through so much trauma and just so much throughout the book that I was just like, wow, this is like a heavy hitter. This is just like hard hitting. This is so depressing. Like, there was times where like a tear would come to my eyes because I was just so sad from reading this book. And like, I wanted to DNF it, but at the same time I want to know who did it. Like, did her father really get killed? Who's harassing her? Like, who's telling her? Like, it was just like so much within the book. There was homophobia in the book. There was just so much stuff that, you know, like I hadn't really read about. And I've never really read a book about a gay girl, a lesbian girl, and it was just honestly, it was just something that I really needed to read, and I really enjoyed reading at the end of the day. Like, at first I wasn't enjoying it, I was falling asleep on it, but then as I got more and more into the story, and the last few chapters really hit home, that like, wow, this was an amazing read. And I gave it 3 out of 5 stars because I feel like the ending was better than the beginning. But like, I would read another book by this author, honestly, because it was just such an amazing story. And that was the last book I read this month, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will be doing these monthly, or as much as I can. I'll try to read as much as I can, and I'll continue posting this monthly. Thank you for watching.